Hey everyone, and welcome to another Deep Dive with us. Today we're going to be unlocking some next-level fluency. We're talking about those small but mighty words that can make your English sound super smooth and natural. And like always, we're diving into some really interesting source material all about advanced vocab and sentences.
Yeah, and this one is chock full of those little grammar gems that you can sprinkle into your English to sound so much more sophisticated and nuanced.
I like the sound of that. Sprinkle some sophistication my way, please. So where do we even begin?
Well, this lesson kicks off with a fascinating pair of words. Even and not even. These little guys are like emphasis bombs. You drop them into a sentence and boom, instant intrigue.
Emphasis bombs. I like that. So it's like instead of just saying I'm tired, you would say I'm even tired.
Exactly. That even adds this whole other layer of meaning. It's like you're saying, you won't believe how tired I am. It's beyond tired. It's even tired.
It's like you're emphasizing the unexpected almost.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's about highlighting the surprising, the unbelievable, the you've got to be kidding me moments.
Okay, I'm starting to see the power of even here, but what about not even? Does that work the same way?
Absolutely. But instead of emphasizing something surprising, not even, emphasizes something that's missing or lacking, and often to a surprising or extreme degree.
Like saying, I'm so busy I couldn't even finish a cup of coffee this morning.
Perfect example. You're not just saying you were busy. You're saying you were so busy that you couldn't even accomplish the simplest of tasks, like finishing your coffee.
It really paints a picture, doesn't it? Suddenly I feel that sense of being completely overwhelmed.
Exactly. And that's what's so cool about even and not even. They add this instant emotional depth to your sentences.
I love that. So how does our source material recommend using these words specifically?
Well, there's this great Spanish example. Juan sabe hasta pilotar un avión, which means Juan even knows how to fly a plane.
Okay, so it's not just that Juan is a pilot, it's that on top of everything else, he can also fly a plane.
Exactly. It's like saying, hold on, there's more. And it's even more impressive than you could have imagined.
It's like Juan is full of surprises.
Right. And that one little word, even, completely changes how we see Juan, doesn't it? Suddenly he's this incredibly skilled and accomplished person.
It's all about adding those layers of meaning and intrigue.
Exactly. And that's what makes English so interesting, those subtle nuances that can completely change the impact of what you're saying.
So to make my English more captivating and engaging, even and not even are the way to go.
Absolutely. Don't underestimate the power of those little words. They can make all the difference.
All right, I'm ready to start sprinkling some even magic into my English, but what about rather? Tell me more about why this one's so important.
Okay, rather, this one always throws me off a little bit. Like, I get that it means you prefer something, but it always sounds kind of formal to me,
I know what you mean. It's got that air of sophistication to it, doesn't it?
It does. But our source material makes a really interesting point about rather. It says that using rather instead of prefer can actually make you sound more natural and confident in English.
It's true. It's like choosing the perfect word to express exactly what you mean with just the right amount of emphasis. It shows you're really in control of the language. Ooh, I like that, in control of the language. I could use some of that. So how does the lesson break it down? When would you use rather instead of prefer?
Well, let's say someone offers you something you don't want, like a big slice of cake when you're trying to be healthy. You could say, I prefer not to, thank you, which is perfectly polite, of course.
Right.
But if you say, I'd rather not thank you, it just hits a little different, doesn't it?
It does. It's more assertive, but in a good way.
Exactly. It's like you're politely but firmly drawing a line in the sand.
Yeah.
You're making a conscious choice, not just expressing a mild preference.
So it's all about that subtle difference in emphasis, huh?
Exactly. And the really interesting thing is how the grammar changes too. Remember how we usually use to after prefer? Like, I prefer to have tea. With rather, we ditch the to. It's just, I'd rather have tea. Simple as that.
Whoa, you're right. I never even noticed that before.
It's one of those little quirks of English that can trip you up if you're not careful. Our source even uses that great Spanish word fíjate, pay attention, to really highlight this point.
Okay, I'm paying attention. No more to after, rather. Got it. But wait a minute, doesn't rather have another meaning too?
You're right. It can also mean more precisely or actually. So instead of saying, this is difficult, you could say, this is rather difficult.
And bam, instant sophistication.
Exactly. It's like you've just elevated your language to a whole new level.
I love it. Okay, so we've got rather for expressing strong preferences, and we've got rather for adding a touch of emphasis and nuance. But then things get even more interesting when we start throwing pronouns into the mix.
Ah, yes. Pronouns, those little words that can sometimes cause big grammar headaches.
Pronouns. Okay, so tell me what happens when we add those into a sentence with rather
Well, let's say you're trying to subtly hint that you need some peace and quiet.
in there.
You could go with prefer and say something like, I'd prefer it if you went to the other room.
A little formal, though, right?
It is a bit, isn't it?
Hmm.
But now watch what happens when we swap in rather. Instead of I prefer it if you went, it becomes I'd rather you went.
Hold on, when? We're using the past tense now, even though we're talking about the present.
Exactly. And that's the really cool part. By using the past tense with rather, it softens the tone, making it sound less like a demand and more like a gentle suggestion.
It's like we're speaking in code, so I'm actually being more polite by using the past tense. That's amazing.
You got it. It's all about those subtle nuances that make English so fascinating. Native speakers use these little tricks all the time, often without even realizing it.
This deep dive has been full of those aha moments. I'm starting to see rather in a whole new light. You know, it's funny, the source material we're looking at doesn't just give us these grammar rules, it actually shows us rather in action, in real-life sentences.
It does, and those examples are so helpful for really understanding how the word works in context.
Totally. Like, remember that one, preferiría tomar una cerveza, I'd rather have a beer.
Such a simple sentence, right? But it perfectly captures how effortless and natural rather can sound.
Absolutely. Or how about, preferiría quedarme aquí, I'd rather stay here.
Another great example. It shows how rather lets you express your preferences with confidence and clarity without sounding too demanding or forceful.
This has been eye-opening. Who knew that two little words like even and rather could be so powerful?
I know, right? And we've only just scratched the surface. There's so much more to explore with these words.
That's the beauty of language learning, isn't it? There's always something new to discover. So, to our amazing listeners out there, keep your ears open for how native speakers use these words. And don't be afraid to experiment. Try slipping an even, or a rather, into your next conversation and see what happens. You might be surprised at the subtle but powerful impact it has on your English. Until next time, happy learning, everyone.